Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. If you had to pick two platforms, would you go with, one that you rent and one that you own? Like say a podcast and Instagram.
Yeah.
That, you own your show episodes and what content you produce and how often you put it up versus Instagram that you rent.
Yeah. Could be taken away at
the blink of an eye.
100%.
And then it's gone.
I think that strategy is genius. Yeah. So I think something like, if a podcast is not for you, then something like really growing your email list. Because if something does happen to your Instagram, like you just experienced, Ali,
yes,
you have somewhere to go to speak to these people, to speak to your community and to, share. You might have a big event coming up and all of a sudden your Instagram's gone. Now, how are you going to share about that event? You've got your podcast and, in your case, but your email list.
It was really interesting, and I don't want to say like I enjoyed it because I didn't make the choice to lose my Instagram, and I'm grateful it was just a week, and then hired expert help to get it back, and I am so grateful for that, and that came from a referral in my network, going back to the power of your network.
Love that. And
grateful for my friend who shared that contact. But I realized, I was like, okay, you are without Instagram for a week. You do have an event coming up, a few events. And so leaned in hard to my email list. And it's been interesting going back to kind of the experience of Matt and I being in these mastermind rooms that a lot of people have been talking about building their email lists. And I feel like that's kind of like, quote unquote, like old school, that it's coming back now. And it's maybe as a result of the algorithm changing so much with, again, we're talking predominantly about Instagram, but that you can be in control of, okay, what is the content that you're sharing in your email? How are you messaging? What links or affiliate programs are you linking? Products, events, services, all of that. Podcast shows. And it's been kind of fun that I'm still quite novice to my email marketing, but I'm having fun with it and trying to really be open-minded to embrace this additional communication channel.
100%. And even the emails don't have to be long. Like even if you don't have much to say, you could literally share, your thought of the day or something that came to you and it may resonate with someone. And using your email list as a way to funnel people to all your other places, whether that's funneling them to your YouTube channel or to your podcast, like you mentioned, or to your affiliate links or to your website or to your Instagram, your other social channels. It's a really great way to do that, in a way that you own it, which is lovely.
Oh my gosh, yeah. How do you feel about automation when it comes to, again, we're going back to Instagram, like I think of something like a ManyChat and utilizing that automation piece. That can then go to your email list.
I think that's great. I think ManyChat is great. I think a lot of creators are using it very effectively. It is another thing that you've got to set up, and it's another
subscription. It's like another $15 a month.
Yes, all of that. But I do think that it is effective, especially if you have somewhere else to send people. So if you've got a blog, if you've got a YouTube channel, if you've got a podcast, and that long form content is gold, especially right now in the world of AI, because people are putting queries into AI, but whatever AI is spitting out at you comes from somewhere. It's pulling all those things from the web somewhere, and that is from people's blogs, people's YouTube channels, places where there's long form content and information. So those are becoming more and more important, and having those automations, so being able to, have someone comment a word in order to get the link to your podcast. You're then opening a channel where you can, send them somewhere else, a great funnel, but also potentially deepening those conversations and being able to say more about this topic that you love to talk about. Because that teaser that you're posting or that soundbite that you're posting on Instagram, you have so much more to say.
How do you, as a social media expert, how do you feel about long form content?
I love long form content.
Here we are in a long form content.
I love all the content. No, I think long form content is really great, and I think Instagram and TikTok, I mean, those are my jam in terms of the short form content. But again, if you've got so much to share and so much to say, and I think that's where you can really showcase all those things I was talking about, the perspective, the depth, the insight, the experience. It's very hard to share all of those things in a 30-second video, right? So if you can share the 30-second video, but take people elsewhere to the long-form content, whether that's in the form of a blog, if you're wanting to do some writing instead of all video content, or a YouTube channel, or an email, whatever it is, I think it's great to have a good combination of both, if possible. But I understand bandwidth, like people are busy, but in an ideal world, yeah.
But you can be efficient, and you know who I love for this? And I'm going to flip this question back to you because I want to know who inspires you out there.
Yeah.
But Alex Hermosi and Layla. I'm obsessed with both of their content right now. And I've loved them for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I've had the opportunity to see them in real time. I invested in one of their events earlier in March. So I feel like my appreciation for everything they do has been 10x because of now just having that, not that we had dinner together, but eventually.
Yeah.
But just being in their energy and in their company, I think they are brilliant at it. That you can hear in some of Alex's episodes, for example, that he's whiteboarding. So he's actually probably giving a presentation to someone who's probably paid $5,000 a head for their Scale Your Business workshop. So he's writing on a whiteboard, and so he's producing content for the people that have invested in their live event. And then it's also going to be turned into a podcast episode, but they also might have an Instagram live running, and then they will also cut that down to be short form content.
Amazing.
From that one 45-minute presentation.
And that's the thing, you can get really efficient with it, like you said, and you can make it work. And that kind of brings me to another point with Instagram, with not just Instagram, all the social media channels. The way that you're, repurposing your content is so important, because I know many people may have heard the sales psychology rule of 7. People need to see or hear something 7 times before they make a decision to buy or convert or so on. And such a small percentage of people see each individual piece of content that you're putting out. So you can be repetitive. You can keep saying the same thing over and over. And although you think it's annoying, it's actually effective in marketing. And, I had recently a friend who I thought I was sharing about something. I can't remember what the thing was, though. Some event maybe. I kept sharing about it, and I kept thinking I was sharing about it a lot. And when this thing happened, she said to me, "Oh, I didn't know you were doing that." I'm like, "What do you mean you didn't know? I've been posting about it nonstop." She's like, "Oh, I didn't even see your content." And I mean, she's not my ideal audience. She probably doesn't engage with much of my stuff because she's, not an entrepreneur. She's not a small business owner, and so on. But I thought I was being annoying with how much I was saying the same thing, but she didn't even see any of it.
We need to be annoying.
We need to be annoying. We need to be annoying, and we need to repurpose content because there's so much power in that, not only for saving us time, but also for really, making sure our stuff is getting seen and heard.
Absolutely, especially when you go back to what you shared about having a powerful message. So how do you feel about upcycling? With content and going back, we were talking about this before we hit record, how we got to see Brock Johnson speak in March. Big month for the Arunas in March, with who we got to learn from.
That's amazing.
Which was amazing. And I felt so seen because I had thought about that. I was like, God, it would be so convenient if I could just repurpose some of this content, especially if you're investing in high quality support that, we've got an amazing videographer that we work with. So I'm like, how can I reuse some of this content that we shot in January, but with a different message? And it was like, I was given the permission by Brock Johnson himself to, go back like 90 days and recycle your content. And so what I've tried to do is sort of take that piece of content, but okay, I'm gonna take this video, but I'm gonna have a different message and different value add. Okay, now I'm going to take this value add from this post, but I'm going to film different B-roll video and pair those together. And I think that is such a great time-saving hack, even though, we're trying to understand that there's no magical fix, but you can be smart. You can work smarter and not necessarily harder when it comes to building your content portfolio.
Yeah, I am absolutely a huge fan of that. And if I ever have new clients come to me and they've got a YouTube channel and they've got a podcast and they've got all these things, I'm super excited because I now know I can take all that content that's already out of there and make something else out of it. You know, particularly if it's a client, I have one actually currently that is this case, has all of these things and they're in the States. So it's not easy for me to do, you know, filming days and things like that with them to get that raw content, but they've got so much out there already that they haven't been doing anything with or repurposing. You know, it's gone up once and, you know, it lives there, and then it's goodbye and they move on to the next topic. But it's such good content. It's such a good message. So taking that, you know, YouTube video, turning it into a short for TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram, or turning it into a carousel post that's like got a storytelling basis to it. Whatever it is, I'm a huge fan. So me and Brock, we think the same.
Yeah, he's a vibe. And I think that's so amazing for entrepreneurs that, especially if it is, you know, they are at a stage in their business where they can make the investment to hire expert support, like Studio 90, that you can feel so at ease that you're like, great, I can focus on my zone of genius and record this. In this case, let's use long form content as the example. And then I'm going to have 18 pieces of content from this 1 hour talk that I did on YouTube or whatever it may be, that you can extract all of these clips.
Exactly.
And be efficient with your time and also your investment.
Yeah. Because time is money.
I can't forget to circle back. I need to know who inspires you.
You know who I've been listening to a lot recently is Gary Vee.
Oh my gosh, you talk about AI. Oh my gosh, hearing him talk about AI.
This is why I've been listening. I mean,
was that who you were referencing?
Like gone in and out.
Or your dad was referencing?
No, it wasn't. I don't know. It was my dad was at some event in the financial world. Okay. That's, you know, his industry. So it was not Gary Vee. I mean, maybe it was, but I don't think so. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of his stuff. He's so raw. He's so like rough around the edges and just like, just straight up.
Oh my gosh.
Just so straight up about it all. But he knows his stuff. So yeah, I've been really zoning in on his stuff and especially his latest trying to understand AI and trying to, you know, unravel it the way that many of us are as well. He's got a lot of good things to say. So I'd say right now, that's who I've been listening to.
Is there anyone online from a creator standpoint that you feel is just so dialed in with how they communicate to their audience and how they're building and growing on social media?
Ali Aruda.
Oh, am I doing a good job? Do I get a gold star?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, you know what?
No, 100%.
Episode's done. We're all good here, guys.
No, really. No, truthfully. That's,
You've made my day. This is so exciting. And I'm a words of affirmation girl, so you saying
there you go.
has made my day.
There you go. No, it's true. It's true because you show up in, you know, a lot of places, but you do it authentically and you're not just showing up online, you're showing up in real life. And when people meet you in real life, they're like, oh, she's the same. She's the same in real life as she is online. So
someone said that to me. Thank you.
That's a big thing.
Someone said that to me at an event. You were at the event, our friend Lauren's event a couple months ago, and this girl was chatting with me, and she said that, and maybe was almost surprised. Which I was like, I think I'm going to take this as a compliment. Like, I think I'm just going to like mindset twist this myself here, and I will see the compliment in it, which I'm grateful for. Yeah. But it's
it is a compliment. It is a compliment because it's not easy to show up online and not, you know, alter yourself a little bit, even in terms of like you're nervous or you're talking different or that sort of thing. But, you know, you do it very well. So definitely inspirational.
Thank you. I try to do that even with my podcast too. I love doing in-person interviews because I feel like just the energy and the connection is so different. But if I record at home, I'll just talk to my camera. It's kind of a weird thing when you're like, I'm staring at myself for 23 minutes.
Got to think about who's through that camera.
Yeah.
Who's on the other
side listening to this.
Yeah.
But a couple of weeks ago, I said to my team, they're like, the video didn't come through. I was like, no, I looked like an absolute troll. It was not workable.
Oh, no.
We had to do no camera. But for the most part, you try to do that because it's showing you, and you, like today I have my hair and makeup done, and that's such a treat, but that is not always.
No.
And you want to show that real authentic voice.
For sure. Yeah.
speaking of authentic voice and content, how do you feel about content pillars when it comes to, especially if someone's novice, they're new to getting on social media, or they're looking to level up their game and grow? How do you feel in terms of coming up with content pillars that people post within?
Yeah, 100%. So typically when somebody signs on with us, it depends. If they're, newer, then that would definitely be part of our, initial onboarding with them, is developing some content pillars and identifying exactly, the areas that they're going to be talking about. And within each of those areas, what are the subtopics, like really breaking down what they want to achieve with each of those pillars and what they want their audience to feel with each of those pillars, and what the intent is behind each of those pillars. So that's definitely something that we do early on. If, a much more established business comes along and they kind of already know what those content pillars we will review those with them and just kind of see if there's anything that we feel could be optimized from a social media standpoint. But yeah, a big fan of content pillars.
Yeah, me too. And it's something that I had a good chat with a girlfriend back in January. I was in California for a little pre-birthday getaway. Nice. And we had such a great conversation around content pillars. And, if you could only talk about these things for the rest of your life, what would they be? And how can you show up to share that message and create the content that you're going to share with your audience and your followers?
Yeah.
What's something that you love to post about?
Oh gosh. So this is like bringing up my thing that I'm like mad at myself about, because I haven't been posting a lot.
Okay, this is where I wanted to go.
I have not been posting a lot.
It's so
pretty much at all.
I feel, and it's so interesting because we own a gym and training is super important to me, and so it is a non-negotiable that I work out 6 days a week.
Yeah,
I like to move my body every day, but true workout 6 days a week.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's an anomaly because I feel like so often you have social media managers that you are excellent at what you do and how you serve your clients, but then your account would suffer.
Yeah.
And I would hear friends in the area that they own salons and they're hairstylists that, they don't really have ugly hair. They all actually have beautiful hair, but I feel like they are referencing maybe their past, like when they didn't own a salon, maybe it's something that would go on in a bigger salon that they would have like not done hair or a cobbler that has broken shoes.
Yeah.
That's like the oldest.
I was thinking of that, or like the...
Is that an analogy? I feel like I just made myself sound like I was 85.
And there's something about somebody's kid doesn't have clothes on his back.
Like a seamstress?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I feel like we're like old grannies talking about these analogies right now?
We are.
Okay, so your relationship with your own social media. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. You know what, Allie? I'm in a period of extremely rapid growth.
That's amazing.
And I'm just leaning into that right now. It is amazing. It's amazing. I was going to say but I'm not going to say but. I'm going to say and. It is amazing. And I'm also stretched very thin. I've got an incredible team. There's 5 of us now, which is pretty crazy.
Oh my gosh, Jess, that's amazing. Since November.
Yes. So, I'm building up my team. I'm delegating as much as I possibly can, but I'm also not going to disappear just yet. We're still in this massive period of growth. And so I'm giving myself a bit of grace. I'm also a mom of 2, and that does take a lot of hours out of your day, which, I love, of course, but it's just a bit of a beautiful chaos right now, and something's got to give. And if it's, me taking care of my clients and making sure that they are seeing this same kind of growth, that's great. And it's funny because, people might say, well, where are all your clients coming from then? If you're not even posting, do we actually even need to be posting in order
word of mouth?
Exactly. And it's, like you said, showing up, like getting in the room, going to events, word of mouth. And a lot of it has been through referrals through current clients, people saying, hey, who's managing your social media pages? They look really good. And it working in that way. And that's just how it's working for us right now. So, it's something that I'm like, oh, I always say to my team, we have a huddle every week. And I say, okay, guys, like one thing we really need to get on the to-do list is posting on our own account. We need to get back on there. But you know what? It's okay for now.
But if that's also not a big driver of your business, it would be one thing if you were reliant on that.
Yeah.
And okay, this is suffering or not suffering, but it's not your priority.
It's not my priority.
Servicing your clients is your priority.
Yeah.
But your funnel of clients is still being filled.
Yeah.
then it's not.
And in my mind, do I think that if we were super active on social media, we would potentially have more coming in? Yes, maybe. But right now I'm good with the growth that we have, and I just want to lean into that. I just want to make sure that my clients are very taken care of, and that, you know, I'm not stretched too thin to the point of breakage.
Yep.
And so if something's got to give, that's it right now. Yeah.
So how do you pour into your own, how do you fill your own cup in this massive season of growth and momentum?
Honestly, you know, unplugging from it all, which is very, very hard because it's a digital world, so it doesn't go to sleep. It doesn't end at 5 o'clock. You know, the lights don't shut off ever. So it is really hard to unplug, but completely unplugging and honestly spending time with my family. That's like the biggest thing. Like, my kids are at a really, really hard but really cute age, and time is fleeting. They're getting older and older. And so just really spending time with them, quality time, getting outside, you know, adventures.
Love that.
All that kind of thing. Yeah.
And what brings you joy?
My business.
Yeah. Hey, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Honestly, my business is like my third baby right now. So it's bringing me a lot of joy. And it wasn't an easy thing to get here because I almost had to grieve certain things in order, you know, certain things that once were certain,
like doors closing.
Exactly. So those doors closing, and I've kind of learned that grief and growth are not opposites. Grief and growth happen or can happen simultaneously, and I think often do happen simultaneously. So yeah, I feel like I'm feeling a lot of joy from my business and where it's come, how far it's come.
I love that. And I love what you said about grief and growth, that lands that, and you were at an event that I was speaking at when I talked about that, how it's weird to navigate it, I think, especially the very first time where you are feeling some deep feels, depending whether it's, you know, deep feelings and emotions, or if it's like you are at rock bottom feeling these feels, and then clawing your way out of that to then also enter this massive growth and momentum season. Then now you have like grief, growth, maybe there's some guilt in there. How am I supposed to feel and navigate this? But when you can really embrace that rocket ship energy and just getting on that and surrounding yourself with people and places that feed that are just effectively engine builders to make this rocket ship go at a very different speed.
Yeah, for sure. And you said seasons, and I love looking at life in general as different seasons. And I think I started this episode talking about how many lives I've lived.
Yes.
In all the different industries. Yes, I think it was 9. All the different industries, all the different things that I've done, and the 360 that I've just, you know, made. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs have experienced that kind of 360 of like ending up where they never thought they would be. But each season is so important in helping you get to where you're going. So I don't like to look at any of them with, you know, in a negative way. So even if there is a season that had some grief or had some really difficult decisions, it's all part of the journey, right? It's all just
and you
the
probably
process.
Learned from that.
Yes.
And will grow from that.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about right now?
A weekend at the cottage with my family.
Amazing.
Business-wise, honestly, I think just continuing to see my team grow, not necessarily in numbers, but in, you know, the individual people that I have are so incredible. And so just seeing them grow within their roles and supporting them within those roles and their success, you know, within the business or in whatever they do, I'm just really excited for that.
I love that. Okay, before we wrap up, I like to ask this question often with in-person interviews. And it's part of the Power 9 practice that Matt and I have adopted. We did not come up with it. Our friends Lori and Chris came up with it. But tell me, and everyone listening and watching, 3 things that you are grateful for.
My kids. I'll put my husband in there so I don't take up 2 with those. My family in general.
Good strategy. I love that.
My family in general. My business. Can I say that again?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. My business, and just the trust that everybody has had in me, and just in the referrals. I think I said a lot of things have a lot of clients have come in through referrals, so that I'm so grateful for that. And third, my health.
Yes.
Because it's not, getting old.
Well, and especially as an entrepreneur, we need to nurture that and
Yeah.
take good care of that.
Yeah.
So I'm always a big
I do
advocate
not
for
take
that.
that for granted. Yeah.
I even say, like, having 2 legs that work. Like, I can walk, I can run, I can
honestly,
jump, you can do all these things.
Waking up in the morning.
Yes, your feet hit the ground. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
Well, this was a great day. I got this amazing compliment from expert Jess, and we got to celebrate your first podcast interview, and you
this was
crushed
fun.
it.
Thank you.
Provided so much value.
you.
Thank you for pouring into my community and everybody that's listening and watching.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime. Please come back again soon.
I will.
Until then, how can everyone find you and connect with you?
At studio90.ca is my Instagram handle, also my website, studio90.ca. So really easy to remember. Find me there. That's our business page. And I would love to chat.
Amazing. And we'll link everything in the show notes. Jess, thank you so much for being here. I'm just so grateful, and everything that you shared. You really, really over-delivered. So I'm so grateful for that. And grateful for all of you listening and watching. Thank you for just being a part of the Inspiring Move community. If you have a moment and you would be ever so inclined to leave a little 5-star rating review, that's really what helps podcast shows grow. And that's something that we're really excited about. We always want to be growing and evolving and bringing you guys amazing guests and content. And until next time, we will see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.